Parents, players, or athletes, whatever you want to call them, please listen to this. If your child is an athlete in high school, middle school, or whatever, if your child is an athlete and is wanting to go to school on scholarship, in my opinion, they should play multiple sports. Why? Because it gives you a better opportunity of getting a scholarship. Your child may be better at another sport, and it may be the sport that they're not playing. A lot of athletes, especially in school, are playing sports that are popular, but they might not necessarily be good at that sport. And they may not put the work in to get better at that sport. A lot of these kids will tell you, yes, I want to do basketball. Okay. Are you putting the work in? They'll tell you yes. But the work I'm talking about is the work that is required to get a scholarship, or at least have a coach to come look at you to offer you a scholarship for basketball. Now, let me give you an example. This had to be, I would say, over 10 years ago. There's this young lady. She was in high school. She was on the basketball team, but she was sitting on the bench in basketball. This was her junior or senior year. She was sitting on the bench in high school. She wanted to go to college on a basketball scholarship. And my thing was, and I said this to her, I said, that's going to be hard because you're not getting playing time in high school. Now, check this. Her better sport was track. She ran track. I think the first year she went out, she was naturally gifted. They were actually comparing her to, I can't think of the Olympian. They were comparing her to in her first year out there, did extremely well. By the end of her first year, going into her second year, she started getting colleges that wanted to offer her scholarships to run track, something that I felt that she was natural at. It was like a gift to her. It didn't take like much effort. She just got out of there and it was for her, a gift from God that God blessed her with. She wanted to play basketball. She turned down track scholarships. Didn't have a scholarship for basketball at that moment. She said, Coach Walker, I want to play basketball. I'm like, but you're gifted you're gifted. They're comparing you to an Olympian, your form and how natural it is to you. I know, but I don't want to do that. I want to play basketball. So I helped her get a scholarship for basketball, even though she wasn't getting much time in high school, even though she wasn't putting the work in like I thought she should have to get better as a basketball player, wanting to go to college to get better at that sport. Ended up helping her get a scholarship. Things didn't work out. She was there for a year. Did she make through a whole year? She was there for a year. Ended up helping her get into another school on basketball scholarship. Even after that first school, she still didn't want to mess with track. Ended up helping her get into another school on basketball. And I didn't hear from her after that until a couple of years later. I ran into her in the store. She was working as a cashier in the store. And I spoke to her and I looked and she said, hey, Coach Walker, how are you? And one of the first things she said, Coach Walker, I should have stuck with track. I'm not the type of person to say, I told you so. I didn't. I said, well, we live and we learn. She said, but you begged me to do that. And her track coach did the same thing. You begged me to do that. I said, but you live and you learn. And she said, guess what? She's married. She has kids. And either one or two of her kids, they are natural track athletes, just like her. And she assured me she was not going to make the mistake that she felt like she made by sticking with basketball. And why was she with basketball? Because basketball was the more popular sport in that area. Boom. Now, another example of a kid that I was training when he was in like the 4th or 5th grade, training him in basketball and just watching his work ethics and the build, his body and how he was built. And I said to him one day, I said, you ever thought about doing football? And I can tell he kind of got like a little attitude, but not an attitude, but didn't like what I said, I'm not telling you to stop playing basketball. I'm just saying do both. Consider doing both. Long story short, he did, not right then. A couple of years later, he ended up getting into football, sticking with football. By his senior year, he ended up with over 40-something football scholarships, like major Division I football scholarships. And he is a freshman this year. This is the year 2024. Whenever you watch this video, this is 2024. He's a freshman up at Clemson University, and he's getting playing time. And if he stays healthy, doesn't have any major injury, he has a great chance of playing in the NFL, playing on Sundays. So when I tell you your child should look at doing different sports, look at doing different sports, because it can give you better chances of getting the scholarship. You may discover that you are a natural at another sport that you wouldn't even try. Try it, commit to it, play different sports. Because the sport that you're in, not putting you down, the sport that you're in may not be the sport that you're gifted at. And you, athletes, players, you may not want to put the work in that is required to get a scholarship to go on to the next level. So I wanted to share that with you. And when I see parents and I'm talking to them, I ask the kid, I say, hey, what other sports you playing? Oh, I'm not playing anything. Why? Because I just want to do basketball. Don't do that. If you are looking to doing another sport, and one sport I've been suggesting, and this is a sport I've never played, but I want to play it, but one sport I have been suggesting for males and females is golf. Getting into golf and learning how to play golf, and possibly looking at getting a golf scholarship to go on and get your education, or maybe even going on playing professionally. So I hope this was helpful. Again, I'm not trying to put anybody down about it, but look into doing, and I can share other stories of kids that want to do one sport. Didn't work. But when it happened, they want to look back and be like, I should have done that. I had another kid that did do it. He was a basketball player. He was a gym rat, lived in the gym. Talked to him about trying something else. I think during COVID, he ended up trying tennis, fell in love with it, and was a natural at tennis. Now he's in school on scholarship, tennis scholarship, by trying something different. So again, I hope this is helpful. Not trying to put you down, not trying to crush your dreams to tell you that you can't be great at the sport that you're in. All right? Let me know if that was helpful for you. Thanks.